Scary telling.
I can't believe it. We did it. We actually did it. We went beyond the physical boundary of our universe and found ourselves in an infinite garden. It's beautiful, mesmerizing even. But it's also terrifying. Time and space are no longer constant, and I can't help but feel that something is off. The rest of the crew is just as amazed as I am. We spend hours exploring the garden, taking readings and measurements, trying to understand this new reality. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. I'm on the agro deck, checking on the crops we brought with us. We need to make sure we have enough food to sustain the crew for the duration of the mission. That's my job, making sure we don't starve out here in the vast unknown. But as I tend to the crops, I notice something strange. They're growing at an alarming rate. I check the readings and confirm it. The plants are growing faster than they should be, given the amount of time we've been here. It's like time is moving at a different pace in this garden. I report my findings to the rest of the crew, and we decide to set up camp and study this new reality using our instruments. We need to understand what's happening here, what makes this garden so different from our own universe. As the night falls, we gather around the campfire and discuss our findings. We talk about the strange phenomena we've experienced, the way time seems to move differently, and the rapid growth of the crops. We're all a little uneasy, but we push forward, eager to learn more about this new reality. I can't shake the feeling that something is watching us, though. Every time I turn around, I feel like I see something move out of the corner of my eye. But when I look, there's nothing there. I try to shake it off, but the feeling persists. We settle in for the night, sleeping in shifts so someone is always watching. As I lay down to rest, I can't help but feel like we're not alone in this garden. There's something out there, watching us, waiting for us to let our guard down. I drift off to sleep, hoping that the morning will bring some clarity to this new reality. But I can't shake the feeling that we've entered into something far beyond our understanding, and that we may not make it out alive. I wake up to find the rest of the crew huddled together, whispering urgently. They look scared. I get up and walk over to them, wondering what's wrong. What's going on? I ask, trying to keep my voice calm. Did you notice anything strange last night? One of them asks me. I nod. I felt like something was watching us. But I didn't see anything. They look at each other, then back at me. We had visions, one of them says, of our past lives. But they were twisted, distorted. And there were other things in those visions. Things that weren't there before. I feel a chill run down my spine. What do you mean? They hesitate, then tell me about the creatures they saw in their visions. Creatures with too many eyes, with wings that looked like they were made of razor blades. Creatures that whispered in languages they didn't understand. I can see the fear in their eyes, and I realize that I'm scared too. We're in a new reality, and we don't know what rules govern it. As the day goes on, we notice more strange phenomena. Our instruments are giving us readings that make no sense. The crops continue to grow at an alarming rate, and some of them have mutated into grotesque forms. I start to feel sick, like something is crawling under my skin. I look down at my hands and gasp. They're changing, mutating into something grotesque. I try to scream, but nothing comes out. The rest of the crew rushes over to me, and I can see the horror in their eyes as they see what's happening to me. They try to help, but it's too late. My body has been twisted into something unrecognizable. I can hear the creatures in the garden whispering to me, their voices like needles in my brain. They're telling me things that make me want to scream. But I can't. The rest of the crew tries to comfort me, but I can see the fear in their eyes. They know that this new reality is dangerous and that we may not make it out alive. As the day wears on, more of the crew begins to change, mutating into grotesque forms. The creatures in the garden seem to be toying with us, tormenting us with visions of our past lives and twisting our memories. We realize that we're trapped in this twisted reality and that the entities residing in the garden have no intention of letting us leave. We're nothing more than toys to them, playthings to be twisted and broken. I can't help but wonder if we've made a terrible mistake in venturing beyond the boundaries of our universe. We're in a new reality now, one that we can't understand or control. And we're at the mercy of the malevolent entities that reside here. I try to hold on to hope, but it's slipping through my fingers. We may never make it back to our own universe, and if we do, we may not be the same when we get there. We're in a nightmare, and there seems to be no way out. Days turn into weeks, and we're still trapped in this twisted reality. The crew has changed, mutated into grotesque forms that are barely recognizable as human. The crops we brought with us have become monstrous, towering over us like giants. We've tried everything to escape, but nothing seems to work. The garden seems to be alive, shifting and changing at will. We've seen the entities that reside here, and they're far beyond anything we've ever encountered before. They're ancient, malevolent beings that seem to revel in our torment. We've tried to communicate with them, but they're beyond reason. They see us as nothing more than toys, playthings to be twisted and broken. I can feel my sanity slipping away as the days go by. The whispers of the creatures in the garden are like needles in my brain, and the visions they show me are like nightmares. I can't tell what's real anymore. The rest of the crew is no better off. We're all broken, twisted shadows of our former selves. We've seen things that no human was ever meant to see, and we've paid a terrible price for our curiosity. But still, we hold on to hope. We're determined to find a way out of this nightmare, to make it back to our own universe. We've searched for any anomalies or weaknesses in the fabric of the garden, but so far, we've found nothing. We're trapped in this twisted reality, and we're running out of time. Our supplies are running low, and we're not sure how much longer we can survive. But we can't give up. We have to keep fighting, to keep searching for a way out. I can feel the weight of despair settling over me, but I try to shake it off. We're explorers, adventurers. We're not supposed to give up. But as the days wear on, I can feel my resolve slipping. We're in a nightmare, and there seems to be no way out. We've ventured beyond the boundaries of our universe, and we've paid a terrible price for our curiosity. The entities in the garden seem to be toying with us, and I can't help but wonder if we'll ever make it out alive. We're trapped, and we're running out of time. We have to find a way out before it's too late. As the days turn into months, we continue to search for a way out of this twisted reality. But as time passes, it becomes clear that there may be no way out. The garden seems to be alive, shifting and changing at will, and the entities that reside here are malevolent and ancient, beyond anything we've ever encountered before. I can feel myself slipping away, my mind unraveling under the weight of the horror we've experienced. The whispers of the creatures in the garden are like needles in my brain, and the visions they show me are like nightmares. I'm not sure what's real anymore. And then, one day, we see her. The woman of immensity. She's impossible to comprehend, her size and form beyond anything we've ever seen before. But even though she's beyond our understanding, we can tell that she's malevolent. She takes pleasure in our torment, in the way we've been twisted and broken. She seems to see us as nothing more than insects to be toyed with. And worst of all, she seems to be amused by our plight. I can feel her eyes on me, watching me with a terrible amusement. I can feel her smile, a twisted mockery of our existence. She sees us as nothing more than playthings, and I can't help but feel a sense of despair settle over me. We try to communicate with her, to plead with her for our release. But she just smiles, amused by our attempts. We're nothing to her, just insignificant beings trapped in her twisted reality. As the days wear on, I can feel myself becoming more and more like a part of the garden. My mind is slipping away, my body becoming more and more twisted. I can feel myself slipping away, becoming a part of the twisted reality that surrounds me. The crew is no better off. We're all broken, twisted shadows of our former selves. We've seen things that no human was ever meant to see, and we've paid a terrible price for our curiosity. And all the while, the woman smiles. She sees us as nothing more than playthings, twisted ornaments to be added to her garden. We're nothing to her, just insignificant beings trapped in her twisted reality. As the days wear on, I can feel my despair growing. We're trapped in this twisted reality, with no hope of escape. The entities in the garden seem to be toying with us, and the woman of immensity seems to be watching us with a twisted amusement. We've ventured beyond the boundaries of our universe, and we've paid a terrible price for our curiosity. The garden has become our prison, and the entities that reside here are our tormentors. I'm not sure if we'll ever make it out alive. As the months wear on, we continue to search for a way out of this twisted reality. But as time passes, it becomes clear that there may be no way out. The garden seems to be alive, shifting and changing at will, and the entities that reside here are malevolent and ancient, beyond anything we've ever encountered before. But we can't give up. We're explorers, adventurers. We have to keep fighting, even in the face of this despair. And then, one day, we find something. It's a crack in the fabric of the garden, a small fissure that we might be able to squeeze through. It's not much, but it's our only hope. We gather our supplies and make our way towards the crack, hoping against hope that it will lead us to freedom. The journey is treacherous, and we're constantly beset by the entities in the garden. They seem to sense that we're trying to escape, and they do everything in their power to stop us. But we're determined, and we fight on. As we approach the crack, we can feel the pressure building around us. The entities in the garden seem to be pushing back, trying to keep us trapped in their twisted reality. But we push on, determined to make it through the crack and back to our own universe. Finally, we make it to the crack. It's small, barely big enough for us to squeeze through, but it's our only hope. We take a deep breath and squeeze through the crack, our bodies twisting and contorting as we force ourselves through. And then, we're through. We're in a different reality, one that's familiar and comforting. We can feel the weight of the garden lifting from our shoulders, and we breathe a collective sigh of relief. But we're not out of danger yet. We're not sure where we are, or what's happened to us in the time we've been gone. We're not even sure if we're in our own universe. But we're determined to find out. As we explore our new reality, we realize that things have changed. We're not sure how long we've been gone, but it seems like years. Our families are gone, and our homes have been replaced by something else. But even though everything has changed, we're just grateful to be out of the garden. We've survived something that no human was ever meant to survive, and we've come out the other side. We're explorers, adventurers, and we've faced our fears head on. The garden will always be with us, a twisted memory of a nightmare that we'll never forget. But we've made it through, and we're stronger for it. We're ready for whatever comes next, knowing that we've faced the ultimate challenge and emerged victorious.